continuing our conversation, Kendrick Lamar, again, like, every decade he comes out, just disses a whole bunch of people, turns the hip hop community on side his head. J. Cole responded to him. J. Cole apologized. Kendrick Lamar said that he said, fuck the big three, it's just Big Me. And in that same diss, he also was referring to the boy Arbery, Drizzy Drake, who at least one person on the show vehemently is disgusted by. but Drake or Drake's ghostwriters or AI, we don't know, came back and he dissed a host of people, Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross being one of them. What do you think of Drake's return diss? Dope or nope? I'll go with you, Jay Swan.
Man, yesterday when I was in the car scrolling through Instagram, they were like, someone was like, yo, check out this new Drake diss. I was like, I'll check it out. I was like, is this Aubrey? This Drake? He dropping this shit? He saying all of this? The Kendrick? K-Dot? Oh, he went complete Super Saiyan on these niggas. He went Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan you don't think that's a reach, like Plastic Man? Super Saiyan though? And I don't even like that Dragon Ball shit. I don't even fuck with that shit at all. It's corny to me. But I know what Super Saiyan means.
We're gonna have a conversation about the Dragon Ball.
We don't even need to. It's not my thing.
But this man said, he was really dropping heat on Future, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin. He was like, nigga, just go play with those drums, yo. You're not a rapper. I was like, oh my God. He was really going in. What did he say to Kendrick? He said, responding to the Mike Jack line. Responding to Prince out there.
Yeah.
He said, what's the prince to a king? He's a son, nigga. I was like, what?
Yeah. That was.
I'm like, damn, did he just kill Kendrick Lamar? I was like, what? And I'm like, man, like, jeez, like, and I'm not saying the battle was over. I'm not saying Kendrick don't have an ether in him. He could go in on Drake like Pusha T did. But
you silly kids with your lack of standards. You really thought that was fire to you? You thought the Drake? Okay, Jammer, what do you feel about the Drake diss?
Man, Drake tired of all y'all. He's sick of all, especially you, Kareem Ali.
Hey, look, I don't really have a problem with him. I think he's overrated, bro. I mean, I like him for what he's good for, but it's not this. It's okay.
Yeah, he's tired of Kendrick Lamar's mess, and the whole, and the whole. It's crazy because he used to be friends with all those dudes. I wonder what happened. But yeah, like as far as the song go, it's the classic Drake diss. Makes you nod your head. He put some cool bars in it. Not really over the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, easy to follow. That's just Drake. That's Drake's style. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect a lot from Drake. I'm able to accept what Drake has to offer, and I appreciated his diss, and I can't wait to hear, people's responses. I enjoyed it though. I thought it was.
What do y'all think about Rick Ross's? Did you hear Rick Ross's return diss to Drake?
Yet.
I checked out Rick Ross's. It's decent. He said something about Drake had liposuction or something, or like having surgery. This is entertaining. I like the drama. It's funny as shit.
Okay, I'm here for the bullshit. Lyrical Leviathan. I know you're just seething at the ready to get at this full force with aggression and brutal honesty. Complete butt naked prejudice. No Diddy. Pause.
All right. I mean, I promise I'm not going to talk for 17 seasons here.
Okay.
But whenever we have these discussions, I feel like it's my job to put the conversation into the proper context, which again is what we're looking at. What we're appraising is a very low bar for lyricism when it comes to mainstream music in hip hop. We're looking at a very dumbed down aspect. We're looking at something that is an inferior product when we're talking about higher levels of art when it comes to hip hop, higher levels of lyricism and writing. So it was average. It was brutally average. Even Kendrick's verse that started all of this was solid, but it wasn't like really amazing Kendrick, and it definitely wasn't like higher tier lyricism. And
He's trying
so
to draw him out. I felt like he was just trying to draw him out.
yeah, it was a setup.
Yeah.
And so the Drake response was, to me, is very much a microcosm of the larger issue in mainstream rap music, which is that the bar is so low that people don't understand how they're brainwashed to accept these things as being anything even close to quality. So I mean, the Drake song, this is what he did. He said a bunch of stuff. It was very clear. It was very evident. All the references he made, the little Whitney Houston tie-in, the drop and give me 50, talking about his baby mother. All of these things were very clear. He said a bunch of stuff, but he didn't say it well. It wasn't well written. It wasn't well constructed. The composition of the writing was very poor. Only at the very end, about the last half of the last verse, did he say some things in a way that was solid. But most of it was him just talking shit. You could have just played the dozens. You could have just packed them. If you're going to rap and say you're the best, you got to rap at an actual quality level. You got to actually do your work. He didn't show his work. He just said a bunch of shit. Said the answer is 756. So you looked in the back of the book and get that? Where's the math? He didn't actually put any quality writing into the lyricism. It's very basic. And so you can't come out talking about, oh, I'm about to kill him, and you just say what you're going to do. You got to actually show the actual art form, the actual lyricism of how you're doing it. He didn't do that. I could break it down very succinct, like rhyming the easy words, barely rhyming some of the words, rhyming some of the same words with the same words just to get the line off. Like, it's very lazy. Like, it is indicative of what gets accepted as quality lyricism now. The abuse of slant rhyme. Like, it's rhyming. You're supposed to fucking rhyme. Like, he barely put the effort in. At this point, I don't think he's capable of rhyming at that level. There was a time where he showed the promise to really rhyme at a high level. That was like 7 to 10 years ago. I don't know if he's capable of that no more, because he himself and his art form, his process has been dumbed down. He makes pop songs at this point. Like,
you're only as good as you are at the moment.
It's target music.
Very weak.
And so I actually think he wrote it. I think he probably wrote it, or at least most of it himself, because of the low level of the writing. I think he probably did write this one himself, but it's average. It's below average to almost maybe sort of average towards the end, but it's very much below average for most of it. It's not that good. And I think, again, the larger issue at hand, people who look at that and say, this was good, this is amazing, especially if you're an artist, to me, it's indicative of just the low quality of inferior art that you yourself are capable of producing, if you can appraise that and say that it's high level. Because it's not good. It's not fucking good. It's just not. Like Meatwad said in the live action episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, when T-Pain was playing Meatwad, ironically, and he read Shake's script, said, yeah, you said a lot, but it's not good. It's not good.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, I think it was weak. Average is being a little generous. I guess average could be for this day and age, but the standards are so low that, like we always say, if we lower the goal to 8 feet and everybody could dunk, then what's a dunk? It's not impressive.
All windmills and 360s.
Yeah.
Not that impressive.
Like I listened to it several times, and it just kind of went by. It was no haymakers thrown. It was a couple lines in there that was cool, and you were more in shock that, okay, he said that about this person, but it wasn't skillfully done, you know. But I think the problem is, a lot of times we compare what's going on now to the best of a previous far gone era. I mean, we look at everything through the lens of Hit 'Em Up and Second Round Knockout and Song Ether and songs of that nature, The Bitch in You. None of these are that.
Right. I mean, even Ether or Hit 'Em Up wasn't the most complex, constructed writing, but it still had the basic tenets of a quality.
You felt every line that hits you. Every line was like a good jab, bam, bam, followed up with a right hand. This shit was just like, you know, we walked around the ring a little bit. What'd you say?
I was quoting the Jay-Z line from Takeover.
What do you feel? What do you guys feel about Slanks' claim that this was average? Jam, I'll go with you first.
I agree. I think that it was average, but I also think it was intentional for it to not be his best coming out, because I think he wanted to wait for Kendrick's response or whoever else is going to respond. And then he's probably going to put his sweatshop to work to
Right. His
He
right.
said,
his
he said
crew,
Quentin Miller is on the payroll, ready to come back and write something.
but at the
He
same
probably
time,
got King Los over there in the corner and shit.
Oh my
it's a
On
god!
retainer.
Like it's a head knock. Like Drake is good for that. Like he'll put something down that you can play in the club. You know, it's fun to listen to, but as far as
Rules and diss records are different. Yeah.
like artistic value, yeah, I agree. It's not all of that, but at the same time, I think it's part of the strategy.
Swan.
If anything, I'm happy that he did it because I think this gives Kendrick the lane to appropriately ether him. Like Kendrick,
I think
really
Kendrick
hard,
had something ready for both of these guys. Rhymes just
Yeah.
formed and books, partial songs written, ready to respond. That's why he lured them out there. He's probably ready to destroy either one or both of them or the whole industry. He's been looking for smoke
I'm actually
for a
excited. To see
decade. Swan, what do you think about the? Do you think this was average? You seem to think that this is like one of the greatest disses of all time. How do you feel? I mean, what's going on, Swan?
Look here, I think it's a good diss. I'm not saying this on the level
Don't
of
walk it back, Swan. Why'd you start the show?
Don't
What you
Jermaine
been
it.
What you been saying on your Instagram for the last 2 days?
Like, I'm not gonna say it's one of the greatest disses ever, but he went in. Like I gotta give him like
He went
even if
in
you
though.
don't like if
He
you
went
don't even
in?
like the
Did he go
nigga,
in?
you gotta give him his props. You gotta give him his props. Like when J. Cole bitch out like, yo, I'm sorry, Kendrick. Drake like, man, fuck that.
So we get participation trophies in hip hop like they do in Little League sports now. You showed up, little Billy. You didn't win any. You came in last place, but this is for you. That's what we doing.
It's kind of like the lady rappers like would even not apologize. I'm so hot about the J. Cole
That's
shit.
just because women don't apologize for shit.
I'm like,
Man.
I'm gonna have to edit that out. Last time a woman apologized, it was like Anita Baker in 1986. If you get that, you know what I'm talking about. No, you didn't get that? Swan, you're too young?
Not gonna comment on Kareem Ali's commentary on male-female relations. It's not slippery slope.